So we're doing a Guns N' Roses classic today, one of my favourites, Mr. Brownstone, which is why I found a brown t-shirt with a sweet guitar on it. Look at that bad boy. But anyway, I've really wanted to do this one for a long time because there's so much in it that's really tough. The rhythm, just to start with, is a tough one, but also the actual main riff with that kind of pause in it. A riff I played wrong for years by doing a doubling, but instead of just going. But anyway, we'll get into all the details now. Here we go for Mr. Brownstone from Guns N' Roses. By the way, if you're wondering, Mr. Brownstone is a song about heroin, as I discovered from looking up all about the lyrics, written by Slash and Izzy. There's a few interesting bits about this. We'll start right at the beginning, though, with this kind of Jimi Hendrix wah type thing. I've got a wah pedal as well on this video, so you can see what I'm doing. This one is just the same rhythm as the main riff, with your kind of wah picks here. Muted strings. That's the sound you're looking for, and you're going to kind of rock the wah as you do that. You're going to want to do it around the 3rd fret, I guess, just to kind of give it a similar sound to the record. It's got quite a high sort of piercing sound to it. You can do it up here as well on the 12th. Kind of up to you, really. Let's try it on the 3rd fret, though. And this is the rhythm, which you do 3 times, so there's only one pause in it. So you do that 3 times round, and then the 4th time round there's a little extra pause, so you've got... That's the 4th time round, so that extra little pause in there. Then you're coming up to the 12th fret, and you're going to slide all the way down using your 3rd finger, so... So you start on the 12th fret and use that 3rd finger there, slide it down. Now if you're playing Slash's line, you keep that wah pedal on here, and you're going to just do chords. So you're going to do E major, and he really uses the wah, especially in live versions, so he kind of goes, and then you're going to go for a D, back to the E, and then you get rid of the wah and you do these chords: D, A, B. So that's Slash's line. If you're going to play Izzy's line, it's a little bit more difficult. It's got the main riff here, which we'll go through properly in a sec, but just to give you a flavour of what he's playing. So that's Izzy's line. Now we will run through that properly, but just to let you know, I'm always kind of favouring Slash's line in these tabs. So the one little move that isn't in Slash's part is this pull-off section. So to do that, you're just going to take your 2nd and 1st fingers on your B string and pull them off. Then you're going to pull off the next string, the G, on that 2nd fret, next one, over again, and then you're going to hammer this one on and to that E power chord. So let's carry on with Slash's line then, and this is the main riff, which is something I've played wrong for a long time. I was always doubling the power chord at the bottom, so I was going, which it isn't, it's just a single one. So the riff is great because you can stay in the same position, which is what I would call like the open position. 1st finger there on your E power chord. And this is how the riff goes. You're going to use all alternate picking. Open E, 3rd fret on that E string. So then come over for that B. So that's the pattern. So the only repeated pick is the power chord followed by the next 3rd fret. So down, down again. Now the next bit is interesting because Slash does these power chords sliding down here. So 5, 4, 3. Whereas Izzy does this, that little pattern that we played before. So we'll stick with the slash line here. Just before we get to that open string B and E there, just to let you know that these power chords down sometimes have little muted funky notes in there. But I'm going to do it straight just for the sake of learning the riff here in its first instance. So A power chord up to this 5th, bend that G string with your 3rd finger, and then you're going to play this as if it was an open E string rather than using the 1st finger, which means you've got to do a sneaky move from the bend of the G like that. Got to be quite quick about that one. So, and if you want to add in the extra funky notes, that's how you're going to do it. Now that riff repeats again. And I'm going to slide up to the first wah pedals section here. So let's just go through that riff one more time as we get into it. So you slide up to that 5th fret, and then you also bend the note whilst turning the wah pedal on. And then you're going to do this next riff here. So I'll run you through that, which is 7th fret on the A string there. So this is all about kind of a funky feel to it. You're going to look for hammer-ons and also these kind of dead notes that are picked. If you want to be strict about what's heard on the album though, you're going to do a down on the 7th, up pick, which is a dead note, down on the 5th, and then this next bit, you can either play it in 2 ways on the record. You either do 3 straight notes, or you can do the up dead note picks in the middle. You can use a variety of those. The live options particularly have those dead notes in. And then we go back for that same riff again. Now this bit is pretty tough. So you're doing that 8th fret on the B, 6th on the G, coming all the way down for that E there. Pretty tough, but worth doing. Then the wah goes off. So take that off. And we're going back for it again, so you'll realise that there's a lot of repetition in this song particularly. I'm just going to get the old tab up here, which I'm following, but as you slide up, put that wah on again. There's a slight variation here in the turnaround where you hear this. So follow the tab 5, 6, 7. I'm going to pause there because we've learnt a lot in this video already in part 1 of Mr. Brownstone from Guns N' Roses, with the slash line particularly that we're looking at, but it's a riff that's well worth learning just for the alternate picking. Anyway, we'll see you in part 2 where things get a little bit more complicated.